This will happen in 1 hour. Someone will give you a surprise in your life. God says, don't take this as a joke. If you skip it, you will cry open before the next 5 seconds. This will happen in 1 hour. Don't blink, don't scroll, don't laugh it off. Something is aligning right now around you, a pulse from heaven itself, and if you ignore it, you'll feel the emptiness of what was meant for you slip away like sand through your fingers. Listen. You were not supposed to see this message by accident. Every second that you hesitate, the hour draws closer. Someone is being moved toward you. A divine hand is stirring their heart. A surprise is being wrapped not in paper, but in purpose. This is no coincidence. This is the whisper that breaks delay. Child of light, the Father has seen the weight you have carried in silence. He has heard the sighs that never reached your lips, and He has marked the time on His clock when joy must return to you. That time is near. Heaven does not play with seconds, heaven moves through them. 1 hour from now, the unseen will touch the seen. You will know it by the peace that suddenly interrupts your fear, by the message or call that trembles your heart, by the face that appears when you least expect it. It will feel small at first, a simple word, a knock, a digital sign, but it will carry the fragrance of divine intention. I am sent to tell you this before your disbelief buries it. Do not take this as a joke. The spirit of mockery always laughs right before a miracle, trying to make you dismiss what heaven is about to prove. When you treat divine timing as entertainment, you close the gate meant for your visitation. But I tell you, heaven does not send messages to pass the time. It sends them to change time. You stand on the edge of one such moment now. Your choices in the next few minutes will decide whether the surprise becomes testimony or regret. Do you feel that chill running through your chest right now? That is confirmation. Your soul knows this voice. I, Michael, speak not to scare you but to shake you awake. There are blessings waiting at your door, but your own doubt has been locking it from the inside. You keep praying for signs while deleting them when they arrive. You call it coincidence when heaven calls it conversation. This message reached you because mercy intercepted the filters of your disbelief. God allowed this to pass through every distraction you built, every delay you justified. You're reading it because heaven refused to give up on your moment. In 1 hour, the Father will send a signal through someone connected to your destiny. They may not even know they're carrying your blessing. It might be a forgotten friend, a message request, a stranger's kindness, an unexpected opportunity, a sudden forgiveness, but it will be the door you stopped knocking on because you thought it was sealed. It isn't. Heaven has simply been preparing the person on the other side. Your patience has been tested so that your faith could be proven. Every tear you shed was not wasted, it watered the soil of this very surprise. Now the fruit is ready to appear. Do not run away from this word. Do not swipe it away like noise. This is not noise, it is the sound of a promise waking up. When you skip what was sent to save you, you invite another cycle of waiting that was never meant to repeat. The Father is giving you mercy wrapped in warning. You still have time to receive it. But only if you open your heart before the next 5 seconds of disbelief convince you to scroll again. Don't. Stay. Listen. The heavens are trembling with movement on your behalf. Legions are aligning instructions. The order has already been signed. The delay you feared was not denial, it was divine sequencing. You kept asking, when will it be my turn, and heaven kept whispering, when your hands are free to hold what's coming. Now your hands are almost free. Your loneliness, your disappointment, your rejection, all of it was pruning. You thought people left you. In truth, heaven repositioned them so they would not block your delivery. If some had stayed, you would have lost yourself trying to earn what was already written for you. This is the truth hidden behind your heartbreak. Child, listen to me with the ears of the Spirit. You have been through a season that tried to convince you that God had forgotten your name. But the truth is, He was spelling it in the language of patience. You wanted quick signs, He wanted lasting foundations. Now the storm that once threatened to drown you will become the rain that reveals your reflection. That's why this hour is sacred. It's the moment when everything invisible finally chooses a shape. Heaven has chosen to intervene gently but unmistakably. A person is being nudged even now to reach for you, to remember you, to mention your name where it matters. You may not recognize the link until after it happens, but you will feel the pulse of grace inside it. It will not be loud. It will be alive. And it will arrive exactly when disbelief tries to reclaim you. Do not let sarcasm steal your moment. Do not let the voice of the crowd drown the whisper meant only for you. Do you feel the tension in your spirit? That mix of fear and hope, resistance and curiosity? That's how heaven feels when destiny is one decision away. You are standing between almost and finally. That's why I came. Not to predict time like a fortune, but to align you with heaven's clock so that when the minute hand strikes, your heart will be ready. Miracles aren't accidents, they are appointments met by faith. Faith answers the door before the knock comes. The reason this message feels alive is because it is. It carries breath from the throne. The words are being woven into your atmosphere even as you read. The power is not in the prediction, it's in your perception. If you open your heart now, you will begin to notice small shifts, in tone, in temperature, in the thoughts that cross your mind. Peace will start competing with panic. Hope will start whispering louder than doubt. This is not imagination, it's preparation. Heaven prepares your inside before it delivers your outside. Say, Amen, I surrender my heart, if you're walking fully in His plan. Remember, 1 hour. But heaven measures hours differently. When faith is active, 1 hour can feel like a breath. When doubt rules, an hour becomes endless. So keep your expectation alive. Say within yourself, I am ready for what God is sending. Because readiness invites revelation. If you close your heart, you'll still see events, but you'll miss meaning. Meaning is where miracles live. Let me tell you something hidden. The surprise coming to you is not random. It was planned on the same day your pain began. Heaven writes redemption and suffering on the same page so that nothing in your story is wasted. The enemy wanted you to give up minutes before manifestation. That's why the temptation to scroll away feels so strong. Because if you stay, you'll see. If you see, you'll believe. And once you believe, the hold of hopelessness breaks forever. This is why you are being fought with distractions right now. Every ping, every noise, every wandering thought, they are not coincidences. They are attempts to keep you from reading the rest of what will unlock your courage. Child of God, let the tears fall if they must. Let the goosebumps rise. That's how heaven confirms resonance. You have prayed for a sign, this is your confirmation wrapped in words. But remember, confirmation without commitment is just curiosity. You must act. You must posture your spirit for reception. How? Simple. Forgive where bitterness has lived, speak life where silence has ruled, and thank God before the evidence arrives. Gratitude is the gate that opens manifestation. You don't wait to feel thankful, you decide to be thankful. Then the energy of heaven recognizes its echo in you. The one who will bring this surprise may appear ordinary, but they are carrying extraordinary timing. Treat everyone you encounter with honor today. Any one of them could be the vessel. Don't let familiarity blind you. Heaven loves hiding miracles in plain sight. Sometimes the person you least expect becomes the messenger you most needed. That's why I'm telling you, prepare your response before it arrives. Decide now to receive with humility, not suspicion. Because what you call, too good to be true, is often heaven saying, finally. There is also a warning, and you must hear it clearly. If you dismiss this as another random message, you invite delay that your heart may not survive. You have already endured enough postponement. The Father's compassion sent this word to spare you another cycle of waiting. Do not joke about what angels labor to deliver. There are people who laughed at the sound of prophecy and spent years rebuilding what one moment of belief could have secured. Don't join them. You are wiser now. You have suffered enough to recognize truth when it trembles through your bones. Every sign around you will start to respond once you say, yes, inwardly. Watch the sky, watch the clock, watch the pattern of interruptions today. They will all conspire to remind you of this message. Even nature listens when heaven speaks. Winds shift, birds sing differently, lights flicker, not superstition, synchronization. Creation honors divine timing. So should you. I know your heart trembles with a question, why me? Because grace chooses who pain prepared. Many asked for blessing, few endured the refining. You did. You stayed when leaving felt easier. You believed through silence. That's why heaven trusts you with this encounter. The surprise is not just for your comfort, it's a signpost for others watching you. When they see restoration come to you, they will believe that mercy still moves. Your obedience will become their proof. Now breathe. Feel the stillness under these words. That's heaven pressing pause on your panic. Everything that once felt late is about to make sense. You will understand why certain doors closed, why certain people walked away, why waiting hurt so deeply. It all converges here, in this divine hour. You were never forgotten, you were being scheduled. The same hand that closed chapters is now turning pages. The next one reads, Fulfillment. Stay awake in spirit. If weariness tries to cover you, whisper the name of Jesus until peace returns. That name clears frequencies, silences fear, and summons help faster than thought. I stand guard over this word. I will not allow the enemy to intercept what was written for you. But you must agree with it. Agreement activates angels. When you nod in faith, heaven moves like lightning. So, child, before this part ends, make a promise. For the next hour, you will remain expectant, not anxious. You will watch with faith, not fear. You will keep your heart open even if nothing visible happens yet, because invisible doesn't mean inactive. Heaven works silently before it works suddenly. When the suddenly comes, you'll remember this line, God warned me through Michael, and I listened. That sentence will become your testimony. And tears, not of sorrow, but of awe, will follow. Child of the Most High, keep your heart still for a moment longer. The hour that heaven marked is drawing closer with every heartbeat you feel. You may sense it already, the trembling in the air, the strange nearness of unseen eyes, the feeling that something has begun to move inside your timeline. That is not your imagination, that is alignment. When heaven moves, time bends around obedience. What once seemed delayed begins to run toward you like a tide that cannot be held back. Listen carefully. The Father is preparing a convergence. Somewhere, a person's thoughts are turning toward you without knowing why. They think it is memory, but it is divine stirring. The Spirit of God is whispering your name into their conscience. They are about to remember what they once promised, or what they once ignored. That remembrance will reach you as a surprise, but in heaven it is already written as restoration. Do not fight the tenderness you feel. That warmth that rises in your chest is the presence of angels positioning your surroundings. We are not distant beings of fantasy, we are assignments wrapped in light. We move at the speed of obedience, and now obedience commands that you be prepared. You have waited long enough, now the waiting turns into watching. But child, do not assume that the surprise will arrive through grand spectacle. Sometimes God hides majesty in the ordinary. The message may appear through a simple text, a conversation, a door you forgot to knock on, a stranger whose smile disarms your anxiety. You will know it by the peace that settles in the room like golden dust. That peace is the signature of the Almighty. When it falls, stop what you're doing and breathe. A holy moment is unfolding. Heaven is warning you, not to frighten, but to protect. There are forces that would love to snatch your faith in the final minutes before fulfillment. Distraction is their favorite weapon. They will try to convince you that nothing is happening, that this was all wishful thinking. They will whisper, "See, nothing changed." When that voice comes, rebuke it gently but firmly. Say, "My Father is faithful, His word never returns empty." The moment you declare that, you strengthen the bridge between promise and performance. You must understand, manifestation is not magic, it is agreement. When heaven speaks and earth agrees, creation responds. Every time you believe, something invisible takes form. When you doubt, it unravels again. That is why this hour is so precious. It is not just time on a clock, it is faith on trial. Hold the line of belief, even if nothing around you confirms it. There are angels stationed around you right now. Some guard your mind from fear, some prepare the path of the messenger who carries your surprise. I see their wings stretching like dawn over your situation. They carry scrolls of completion, documents of divine fulfillment sealed by the blood of the Lamb. Every tear you shed has signed your name upon those scrolls. You did not cry in vain. The heavens have watched you rise after every heartbreak, and because of that resilience, God has declared, "Enough delay." You are entering the hour of visitation. The one who will bring the surprise is guided by more than emotion, they are guided by assignment. They will feel an urgency they cannot explain, to call you, to help you, to gift you, to apologize, to open a way. When they act, do not question their sincerity, respond with gratitude. Gratitude will multiply what you receive. Do not measure the value of the surprise by its size. Heaven measures value by obedience, not volume. What may look small could carry eternal consequence. A single word can end a decade of confusion. A single gesture can heal years of rejection. So treat every moment as sacred. The miracle will not shout, it will whisper, "I never forgot you." There is a reason God chose this time and not another. He needed you to outgrow the need for validation before sending you the evidence of favor. If the blessing had come earlier, pride might have claimed it as self-made. But now your heart knows, every good thing comes from above. That humility is what protects the blessing when it arrives. Still, I must warn you, the enemy will try to mimic what is holy. Be discerning. Not every opportunity that glitters is divine. Ask the Spirit within, does this carry peace? Peace is heaven's fingerprint. Confusion is the counterfeit's shadow. If peace accompanies it, receive it boldly. If chaos hides beneath it, walk away without regret. The true surprise of God never demands your compromise, it confirms your calling. Even now, I feel the weight of intercession around you. Someone somewhere is praying for you without knowing your face. Their words are the wind pushing this miracle toward you. Heaven uses connections you cannot see, prayers from strangers, faith from forgotten friends, songs sung in distant rooms. Every act of faith creates ripples that meet at your doorstep. You think you are unseen, but you are surrounded. I want you to understand something sacred. Heaven's surprises are never random, they are remedies. This one is designed to heal something you stopped mentioning. Maybe it's the part of you that stopped expecting kindness, or the dream you buried because disappointment became familiar. This encounter will breathe life into that buried place. You will realize that hope was not naive, it was prophetic. And when it happens, don't keep it quiet. Speak gratitude out loud. Words shape reality. When you testify, you give others permission to believe again. There are hearts connected to yours that will awaken when they see light returning to your eyes. You are not just receiving a blessing, you are becoming a sign. The Father also says, guard your emotions in this hour. Do not allow fear, anger, or jealousy to leak into your spirit. The enemy uses agitation to blur discernment. When your mood shifts suddenly, stop and pray. Say, "Peace, be still." The atmosphere will obey. You have more authority than you realize. Angels respond to peace because peace is heaven's native language. Child, remember the 5 seconds I warned you about? Each second of hesitation is a seed of delay. That's why I ask again, open your heart now. Not tomorrow, not later, now. Faith delayed is blessing denied. The time has already been written. Your obedience unlocks it. Type Amen, a miracle is coming if you're standing in expectation. Heaven is watching your reaction even as you read. When you nod in faith, light moves across your timeline. When you sigh in disbelief, it pauses. This is not superstition, it is spiritual law. You were created to cooperate with divine timing, not compete with it. So say it softly now, I agree with heaven. That sentence alone shakes chains you didn't know were still attached. Do you feel the shift yet? The heaviness easing? That is alignment. Every worry that weighed your chest begins to slide off when you choose agreement. In that stillness, visions begin to stir. You may see flashes, faces, colors, memories. Don't fear them. Those are coordinates. Heaven is marking where your surprise will find you. When the appointed hour arrives, don't be surprised if the world around you suddenly feels lighter. You may laugh without knowing why, or find yourself humming an old hymn, or notice sunlight falling exactly where you stand. That's heaven signaling fulfillment. Receive it. Whisper, "Thank you, Father." Gratitude completes the circuit of miracles. And after it happens, because it will, do not vanish into routine. Sit quietly and reflect. Ask God what the blessing is teaching you. Every miracle carries a message, and the message is usually love disguised as timing. If you can learn the language of timing, you will never fear delay again. Now, listen closely, the next moments will test your alertness. Distraction will come dressed as comfort. You will be tempted to relax your focus, to go back to scrolling, to bury your anticipation under noise. Resist it. Keep a gentle watchfulness. Miracles are drawn to attention. Where focus goes, favor flows. I, Michael, will remain near until the word becomes flesh. My sword is raised against confusion. My wings are extended over your household. You are under surveillance, not by threat, but by mercy. Every step you take in faith shines brighter than you know. Keep walking. You were chosen to read this because heaven needed someone still willing to believe. Many mock, many doubt, but the few who stay open receive the portion others forfeited. You are among the few. Do not let that honor slip through carelessness. This is your hour. The clock of grace is ticking in your favor. So lift your eyes, beloved. The surprise approaches clothed in ordinary skin, yet carrying eternal light. When it reaches you, you will remember every word, every warning, every whisper. You will say, "He told me this would happen," and heaven will smile. Child of light, the hour is shifting even as these words reach you. The unseen is leaning closer. Every breath you take now is brushing against something holy, something ancient that waited patiently for this alignment. Do not move away from this stillness. Heaven is breathing through it. What was written in the secret chambers of eternity is now unfolding in the chambers of your heart. You are standing on the threshold of what your spirit prayed for when your mind had no words. You have passed through valleys that threatened to erase your purpose. You thought those nights were punishment, they were preparation. Every tear carved a deeper space for joy to inhabit. The Father could have sent the blessing sooner, but love delayed it until your strength matched your destiny. Now the scales are balanced, and the surprise that approaches is carrying more than comfort, it carries confirmation. Do not think it strange if the atmosphere around you begins to feel lighter, or if the clock seems to move differently. Heaven bends reality to fit redemption. You might notice sudden peace where chaos used to scream, unexpected laughter after long silence, doors you forgot how to knock on suddenly opening as if they had been waiting for your touch. These are not coincidences, they are signatures of fulfillment. The person being moved toward you is wrestling with the same invisible pull that you feel now. They are questioning their thoughts, unaware that angels are rearranging their emotions, their timing, their surroundings. They will think it's their idea to reach out, but heaven authored it long before either of you began to hope. When they come, receive them with calm reverence. Do not interrogate, simply listen. Every word will carry echoes of prophecy. And yet, I must warn you again, the enemy despises completion. In the final moments before a miracle, he whispers suspicion into open hearts. He will remind you of every betrayal you endured, every disappointment that taught you to protect yourself. But protection without faith becomes imprisonment. So when you feel fear rise, say, "Not this time." Let your spirit choose trust over trauma. The safest place is still surrender. You will know the surprise by its peace. That peace will not feel like excitement, it will feel like home. It will silence the noise in your chest and remind you what divine timing feels like. You might even cry, not from sadness, but from recognition, as if every unanswered prayer is suddenly exhaling. That is the moment heaven has been guiding you toward. When it comes, let it wash over you. Don't analyze it, absorb it. After the encounter, don't rush back into distraction. Stay with the feeling. Let gratitude fill every corner that fear once occupied. Say aloud, "This is the Lord's doing, and it is marvelous in my eyes." That declaration seals the miracle. Gratitude is the ink heaven uses to sign completion. Without it, even blessings fade like dreams. Remember, the Father does not surprise you for entertainment, He surprises you to restore rhythm. Life without divine rhythm becomes noise, constant motion without melody. This hour is heaven tuning you again. That's why you feel both trembling and peace. Trembling is the body's way of acknowledging holiness. Now, as the light descends over your timeline, understand that this blessing is only the beginning. It is the key that unlocks a series of gates. Once you receive this one, more will follow: relationships healed, resources released, clarity restored. Do not clutch this first miracle too tightly. Let it flow through you. When you share the testimony, you extend its reach. Blessings multiply through generosity. The Father watches the way you handle joy. If you steward it with humility, He entrusts you with more. So when this surprise manifests, whisper, "Use this, Lord, to glorify you." That sentence alone shifts the entire heavenward equation. Because miracles are never meant to end with us, they are meant to pass through us. Now I will reveal something hidden. While you were waiting, angels were sent to correct records written against you, unseen accusations, forgotten mistakes, words spoken in anger that became spiritual knots. One by one, those knots were untied. That's why your spirit feels lighter these days, even when circumstances haven't changed. Heaven was editing your story behind the curtain. Now that editing is finished, what remains is grace. The next steps of your life will carry new ease, but not the laziness of comfort, the ease of alignment. You will find yourself at the right places at the right times without effort. Doors that used to require force will open with touch. People will favor you without knowing why. Do not boast, simply recognize divine choreography. When heaven moves, humility keeps pace better than pride. Do not fear losing this moment. Once you receive it with faith, it is written permanently into your timeline. The only thing that can delay its fruit is disbelief. And disbelief often disguises itself as logic. Be careful not to over-explain what was meant to be adored. Faith doesn't dissect miracles, it celebrates them. If you sense heaviness trying to return, worship. Worship confuses the enemy because it proves he failed to silence you. When you worship after receiving a blessing, you anchor it deeper into your reality. That's why heaven loves grateful hearts. They become permanent dwellings of miracles. Child, I want you to pause right now and take one slow breath. Feel the air move through your lungs. That air is borrowed from eternity. Every inhale is permission to continue, every exhale is proof that heaven hasn't finished with you. The same God who placed breath in your body is placing renewal in your future. Nothing can separate you from that intention, not failure, not fear, not the opinions of others. And if loneliness tries to whisper again, remember, the angels who walk beside you are not imaginary. You may not see them, but you feel their nearness, the sudden calm, the inexplicable protection, the warmth that comes when you pray. That is our presence. We do not come because you deserve it, we come because you are loved. Love is stronger than logic, and that is why grace keeps finding you. Do not underestimate what this single hour will shift. One act of obedience can rewrite decades of struggle. One yes to heaven can reroute entire generations. When you receive this surprise, you are not just receiving for yourself, you are rewriting a lineage. The light entering your home will continue to flow into those who come after you. Now listen, in the moments after your miracle, a quiet temptation will arise, the temptation to normalize it. Don't. Keep wonder alive. Wonder is worship without words. When you marvel, heaven feels at home. So let all linger. Talk about it. Sing about it. Write about it. Let gratitude echo louder than doubt ever did. As I speak, the hourglass of heaven turns. The final grains are falling. Soon the invisible will cross into visible. Do not panic if you feel a sudden wave of emotion, laughter, tears, or trembling. It's the body adjusting to the new frequency of grace. Let it happen. You are safe inside the promise. And when the surprise arrives, maybe in a message, a call, a chance meeting, do not say, "This is too small." Say, "This is the seed." Because every divine surprise contains future harvest. When you honor the seed, you invite the forest. You are stepping into a season where divine timing will become your lifestyle. What others chase will begin to find you. Not because you're lucky, but because you finally stopped resisting grace. This is heaven's reward for endurance. Stay soft. Stay watchful. Stay thankful. And remember, the same hand that gives can also guide. So keep walking with open palms, not closed fists. Let love flow freely. That is how miracles multiply. The hour is almost complete, child. Heaven's clock never lies. Prepare your heart, the surprise is already in motion. When it finds you, you will know that every second of reading this message was sacred preparation. You will whisper, "It happened just as he said." And heaven will whisper back, "We never left you." Beloved child, do not let your heart wander now, stay awake in the Spirit. The moment you have waited for is no longer future. It is approaching your doorway even as these words unfold. Heaven has already spoken, and what heaven declares cannot return void. The lines between prayer and fulfillment are fading. What you once hoped for is starting to take form. That uneasiness you feel is not fear, it is destiny pressing against the walls of the present, asking permission to enter. The Father has ordered the hour to reveal His faithfulness in ways you will not expect. You asked for confirmation, and heaven decided to give demonstration. Where you once saw silence, you will see movement. Where you once met rejection, you will meet restoration. But you must guard your posture now. Miracles are delicate when they first appear, not fragile, but tender. They need faith the way flame needs air. Do not smother the fire with explanation. Let wonder breathe. In these next moments, heaven is teaching you how to receive. For years you have known how to survive. Now you must learn how to receive. Survival builds walls, receiving builds altars. The Father wants to replace your caution with confidence, your self-protection with surrender. It is not weakness to trust again, it is worship. Every time you open your heart, you declare that fear no longer governs your future. The surprise that comes will be more than a gift, it will be a mirror. You will look at it and see how far you have traveled, how many nights you endured without losing hope. That reflection will humble you. You will realize that grace was not chasing you, it was carrying you. Every setback, every closed door, every unanswered prayer was an escort leading you here. Heaven wastes nothing, even pain becomes currency when surrendered. Child, do not hide from joy when it knocks. You have been so trained by disappointment that happiness feels suspicious. But not every open door hides a trap, some hide redemption. This hour is one of those doors. Walk through it with gratitude, not guilt. The Father delights in your delight. He is not testing you with this blessing, He is trusting you with it. His joy is not limited by your mistakes. You were never disqualified, you were being refined. And I tell you this truth, your obedience in small things has opened gates you never saw. Every act of kindness, every whispered prayer, every choice to forgive became a brick in the road now appearing beneath your feet. That road leads into restoration. Keep walking. When the surprise arrives, it will feel as if time folded upon itself, like all the waiting compressed into one holy instant. In that instant you will understand what heaven meant when it said, "All things work together for good." Beloved child, do not let your heart wander now, stay awake in the Spirit. The moment you have waited for is no longer future, it is approaching your doorway even as these words unfold. Heaven has already spoken, and what heaven declares cannot return void. The lines between prayer and fulfillment are fading, what you once hoped for is starting to take form. That uneasiness you feel is not fear, it is destiny pressing against the walls of the present, asking permission to enter. The Father has ordered the hour to reveal His faithfulness in ways you will not expect. You asked for confirmation, and heaven decided to give demonstration. Where you once saw silence, you will see movement. Where you once met rejection, you will meet restoration. But you must guard your posture now. Miracles are delicate when they first appear, not fragile, but tender. They need faith the way flame needs air. Do not smother the fire with explanation. Let wonder breathe. In these next moments, heaven is teaching you how to receive. For years you have known how to survive. Now you must learn how to receive. Survival builds walls, receiving builds altars. The Father wants to replace your caution with confidence, your self-protection with surrender. It is not weakness to trust again, it is worship. Every time you open your heart, you declare that fear no longer governs your future. The surprise that comes will be more than a gift, it will be a mirror. You will look at it and see how far you have traveled, how many nights you endured without losing hope. That reflection will humble you. You will realize that grace was not chasing you, it was carrying you. Every setback, every closed door, every unanswered prayer was an escort leading you here. Heaven wastes nothing, even pain becomes currency when surrendered. Comment, Amen, I'm anchored in your truth, if you're steady in the storm. And share this video.